Dear learners, as we move deeper into the study of subcultures and counter narratives, this particular unit number 31 invites you to look closely at something you encounter almost every day: memes. At first glance, memes may seem like simple jokes, fleeting trends, or light-hearted distractions on social media. However, if you pause and reflect, you will notice that they often carry deeper meanings about society, culture, politics, and everyday life. In this particular unit, you will explore how memes function as more than just entertainment. You will learn to read memes as cultural texts that communicate ideas, emotions, and critiques in subtle yet powerful ways. Just like films, advertisements, or news stories, memes reflect the realities of the world around us, sometimes reinforcing dominant perspectives and at other times challenging them. You will also be introduced to the idea of digital folklore. Think about how stories, sayings, and traditions were once passed down through generations. Today, similar processes occur online, where memes spread rapidly, evolve through user participation, and become part of shared cultural experiences. As learners, recognizing this connection will help you understand how culture itself is continuously shaped and reshaped in digital spaces. Most importantly, this unit encourages you to reflect on your own role in this process. Each time you like, you share, or create a meme, you are participating in a larger system of cultural communication. Memes, they provide you with a voice, one that can express opinions, challenge norms, and contribute to ongoing conversations. At the same time, they also demand responsibility, as the messages you circulate can influence others in meaningful ways. So, as you engage with this unit, try to move beyond seeing memes as casual content. Instead, approach them as windows into contemporary culture, tools through which individuals and communities express identity, negotiate meaning, and sometimes resist dominant narratives. So let's deep dive into this unit. Now, the rise of digital communication technologies, it has transformed the ways in which culture is created, circulated, and interpreted. Among the most prominent features of contemporary digital culture is the phenomenon of internet memes, often dismissed as trivial or humorous content. Memes are in fact complex cultural artifacts that reflect social realities, encode shared meanings, and enable new forms of participation in public discourse. Now, within the broader framework of subcultures and counter narratives, meme culture occupies a significant position. It serves as a medium through which individuals and communities express identity, critique dominant ideologies, and negotiate cultural meanings. At the same time, memes function as a form of digital folklore, spreading rapidly across networks and evolving through collective participation. This unit, it provides a comprehensive understanding of meme culture and digital folk practices by examining three interrelated dimensions: memes as cultural texts and instruments of social commentary, the nature of digital folklore and viral transmission, and the democratization of cultural expression through meme practices. Now let us try to look into how internet memes, they serve as cultural texts and social commentary. We need to understand memes beyond humor. And internet memes are often perceived as humorous images, short videos, or phrases that circulate widely across social media platforms. However, reducing memes to mere entertainment overlooks their deeper cultural significance. Memes are symbolic constructs that convey meanings through a combination of visual, textual, and contextual elements. The concept of meme itself originates from evolutionary theory, where it referred to units of cultural transmission. And in the digital age, memes have become units of communicative expression that are rapidly produced, modified, and shared. They operate within a system of signs and symbols, making them comparable to language or other forms of cultural texts. In order to understand memes as cultural texts, it is essential to recognize that they require interpretation. Like literature, films, or advertisements, memes communicate ideas that are shaped by context. The meaning is not fixed, but emerges through interaction between the creator, the content, and the audience. And memes may appear simple at first glance, but their meaning is created through a combination of different elements that work together like a text to be read and interpreted. And understanding these elements helps us see why the same meme can mean different things to different people or in different situations. Now let's try to understand the visual symbolism. So the image in a meme is rarely neutral. It often carries implied meanings through facial expressions, body language, or familiar visual cues. For example, a picture of someone looking confused, excited, or frustrated already communicates an emotion even before any text is added. And these visuals act as symbols that audiences quickly recognize and interpret based on shared understanding. And because humans process images quickly, visual symbolism allows memes to communicate ideas almost instantly, making them highly effective in digital communication. Now let's look at textual captions. Captions are the short lines of text that accompany the image, and they play a crucial role in shaping how the meme is understood. So while the image provides the emotional or visual base, the caption directs the meaning, and it can actually clarify the situation being depicted. It can add humor or irony, and it can also shift the interpretation of the image entirely. Suppose, for instance, the same image can be used with different captions to express completely different ideas. And this shows how captions guide the audience's reading of the meme. Now, what about intertextuality? Memes often rely on references to other cultural materials such as films, television shows, viral videos, or even earlier memes. And this connection between different texts is known as intertextuality. When a meme uses a well-known scene or character, it brings along the original meaning associated with that reference. And the audience's familiarity with the source adds depth to the meme. For example, if a meme uses a famous movie scene, people who recognize it will understand both the original context and the new meaning created by the meme. And this layering of meanings makes memes richer and more engaging. Now, what about the contextual relevance? So, the meaning of a meme is strongly influenced by the context in which it is shared. And this includes current events, social or political situations, popular trends, shared experiences within a community. A meme that is funny or meaningful today may not have the same impact in a different time or setting. Context gives the meme its relevance and helps audiences connect it to real life situations. So, how do these elements work together? So, true power of a meme, it lies in how these elements interact. The image, the caption, cultural reference, and context combine to create meaning. For example, consider a meme that uses a scene from a popular film. On its own, the scene has a specific meaning within the film. However, when a caption related to contemporary politics is added, the meaning changes. The humor or impact comes from placing the familiar scene into a new and unexpected context. And this blending of different meanings, visual, textual, and contextual, is what makes memes engaging and often humorous. It allows them to communicate complex ideas in a simple, relatable, and creative way. Memes also serve as social commentary. Memes function as powerful tools for social commentary because they allow users to express opinions in concise and relatable ways. Through satire, irony, and exaggeration, memes can critique social norms, political systems, and cultural practices. Now, what are the different forms of commentary in memes? The first is political critique. Memes are frequently used to comment on political leaders, policies, and events. They provide a platform for citizens to engage with political issues, often bypassing traditional media channels. The second important form is social observation. Everyday experiences such as work stress, education systems, or family dynamics are commonly represented in memes. And these depictions create a sense of shared understanding and collective identity. The third important form is cultural criticism. Memes can challenge dominant cultural narratives by highlighting contradictions, inequalities, or stereotypes. For example, memes addressing gender roles or consumer culture often expose underlying power structures. The fourth important form is emotional expression. Memes also serve as a medium for expressing emotions such as frustration, joy, or anxiety. In doing so, they create a sense of emotional solidarity among users. One of the defining features of memes is their participatory nature. Unlike traditional media texts, which are produced by professionals and consumed passively, memes invite active engagement. Users not only interpret memes but also modify and redistribute them. And this participatory process leads to what can be described as collective meaning making. Each iteration of a meme adds new layers of interpretation, allowing it to evolve over time. As a result, memes are dynamic cultural texts that reflect ongoing social conversations. Now let us look at memes and subcultural identity. Within subcultures, memes play a crucial role in expressing identity and reinforcing group boundaries. Specific meme formats, language styles, or references may be understood only within certain communities, creating a sense of exclusivity. For example, gaming communities they use memes based on in-game experiences. And academic communities they share memes about research pressures. Political groups are there that circulate memes aligned with their ideological positions. In this way, memes they function as markers of belonging, distinguishing insiders from outsiders. Let us try to look into digital folklore and viral cultural transmission. That is, we shall look into the transition from traditional folklore to digital folklore. So, folklore has historically referred to the collective traditions, stories, and practices of a community. And these were transmitted orally or through shared rituals, evolving over generations. And in the digital age, similar processes occur through online platforms, giving rise to what is known as digital folklore. And digital folklore encompasses memes, viral videos, hashtags, and other forms of user-generated content that spread through networks. And like traditional folklore, it is characterized by collective authorship, variation, and cultural significance. So, what are the characteristics of digital folklore? Let's look into them. The first important characteristic is collective authorship. Digital folklore is created by multiple contributors rather than a single author, and memes are often modified and reinterpreted by different users, resulting in diverse versions of the same content. The second important characteristic is variability and adaptation. A key feature of folklore is its adaptability. In the digital context, meme templates they serve as frameworks that can be customized for different situations. And this flexibility allows memes to remain relevant across contexts. The third important characteristic is anonymity and fluid ownership. Unlike traditional media, where authorship is clearly defined, digital folklore often lacks identifiable creators. And this anonymity reinforces the idea of collective ownership. The fourth important characteristic is rapid circulation. Digital platforms enable instantaneous sharing, allowing content to reach global audiences within a short time. And this speed distinguishes digital folklore from its traditional counterparts. The fifth important characteristic is cultural resonance. For content to become viral, it must resonate with users. And this resonance may be based on humor, relatability, emotional impact, or cultural relevance. Now let us look at the mechanisms of viral transmission. The spread of digital folklore is closely linked to the concept of virality. Viral content is characterized by rapid and widespread dissemination, often driven by user engagement. Several factors determine why some memes spread rapidly while others remain unnoticed. What are those factors? First is platform algorithms. Now, social media platforms, they promote content that receives high engagement, like likes, shares, comments, etc. And this increased visibility helps certain memes reach a much larger audience. The second important factor is network effects. Memes spread through social connections. When one person shares a meme, it becomes visible to their network. And repeated sharing, it creates a chain reaction that expands its reach. Another important factor is emotional appeal. Content that triggers strong emotions such as humor, surprise, anger, or relatability is more likely to be shared as people feel motivated to pass it on to others. Then we have cultural timing. Memes connected to current events, trends, or widely discussed topics, they tend to gain popularity quickly because they feel relevant and timely to audiences. Now, let us try to look at memes as living cultural forms. We of the digital folklore is not static, right? It evolves continuously. Memes, in particular, they undergo cycles of creation, adaptation, and decline. A meme may begin with a specific context, but gradually acquire broader meanings as it is reused. And this process reflects the dynamic nature of culture itself. Just as traditional stories they change over time, digital content is reshaped by each generation of users. Let's look into globalization and localization. Digital folklore has a unique ability to move across borders while still adapting to local contexts. A meme created in one country can quickly travel worldwide, but it does not remain unchanged. Instead, users reshape it to reflect their own language, culture, experiences. For instance, a widely recognized meme format may be rewritten using regional expressions or linked to local events. At the same time, cultural differences influence how people interpret and respond to the same meme. Now, what is humorous or meaningful in one context, it may carry a different implication in another. And this blending of global reach and local adaptation creates a hybrid form of culture. It shows that digital communication is both interconnected and diverse, allowing shared formats to carry multiple context specific meanings. Now, let's look into the power and visibility in digital folklore. Although digital folklore appears open and participatory, not all content gains equal attention. So, the visibility of memes is shaped by various power structures operating within digital platforms. And social media algorithms play a major role by promoting content that generates high engagement. In addition, corporate interests and the influence of users with large followings can determine which memes become popular. As a result, certain voices and perspectives are amplified, while others may remain less visible. And this uneven distribution of visibility highlights that digital culture is not entirely democratic. To fully understand digital folklore, it is important to consider issues such as access to technology, representation of different groups, and control over content circulation. Let's try to understand the democratization of cultural commentary through memes, that is, shifting from institutional to participatory media. And traditional media systems, they were characterized by centralized control, where a limited number of institutions produce content for mass audiences. In contrast, digital media environments enable decentralized participation. And memes exemplify this shift by allowing individuals to create and share content without the need for institutional support. And this transformation has significant implications for cultural production and communication. Now, what do we have to look into as far as accessibility and inclusivity is concerned? So, one of the key factors contributing to the democratization of meme culture is accessibility. Creating a meme typically requires minimal technical skills and resources. And with the availability of smartphones and free editing tools, a wide range of users can participate in content creation. This accessibility promotes inclusivity by enabling diverse voices to be heard. And individuals from different backgrounds can contribute to cultural conversations, challenging the dominance of traditional media narratives. So now comes the rise of the prosumer. In digital culture, the distinction between producers and consumers has become blurred. Users are both creators and consumers of content, often referred to as prosumers. And memes illustrate this phenomenon clearly. A user consumes a meme, modifies it or creates a new version, and shares it with their network. And this cycle of production and consumption fosters active engagement and creativity. Now let's look into how memes they actually serve as tools of resistance. Memes have emerged as powerful instruments for expressing dissent and constructing counter narratives in digital spaces. By presenting alternative viewpoints, they challenge dominant ideologies and question existing power structures. Unlike formal political discourse, memes they rely on humor, satire, and irony, making their messages more accessible and widely shareable. And they are frequently used to critique political leaders and decisions, expose social inequalities, question stereotypes, and support activism. Because memes communicate indirectly, they can deliver criticism in a subtle yet impactful way, often reaching audiences who may not engage with traditional forms of debate. Now, this brings us to amplification of marginalized voices. Digital platforms have enabled groups that are often underrepresented in mainstream media to share experiences and perspectives. And memes, they play a significant role in this process by drawing attention to issues that might otherwise remain invisible. For example, memes addressing gender discrimination, cultural identity, or regional diversity help bring these concerns into public discussion. And by circulating such content, users contribute to a more inclusive and diverse media environment where multiple voices and viewpoints can coexist. Now, what are the challenges and limitations in this regard? So, despite their potential for empowerment, memes also have certain limitations. The first one is misinformation and oversimplification. Memes, they often reduce complex issues into brief, simplified messages. And while this makes them easy to understand, it can also lead to misinterpretation or the spread of inaccurate information. The second limitation is toxicity and exclusion. Some memes, they reinforce stereotypes, promote bias, or target individuals and communities in harmful ways, thereby contributing to negative online behavior. The third important limitation is ephemerality. Memes that trend, they change rapidly. As a result, important issues highlighted through memes may lose attention quickly, limiting deeper engagement. Fourth important demerit or the limitation is algorithmic control. The reach of memes is influenced by platform algorithms, which determine what content is widely seen. And this can shape public discourse by prioritizing certain narratives over others. Now, this brings us to ethical considerations. Given their influence, engaging with memes requires a sense of responsibility. Users should be aware of how their content may affect others and avoid sharing material that is misleading or harmful. And respect for cultural diversity and sensitivity towards different perspectives is also essential. Developing digital literacy is crucial in this context. It enables individuals to critically evaluate content, understand its implications, and participate in meme culture in a thoughtful and responsible manner. So, meme culture and digital folk practices, it represent a significant transformation in contemporary communication. Far from being trivial, memes are complex cultural artifacts that reflect, shape, and contest social realities. As cultural texts, memes encode meanings that require interpretation and engagement. As digital folklore, they evolve through collective participation and rapid transmission. Most importantly, they contribute to the democratization of cultural commentary by enabling individuals to participate in public discourse. And at the same time, the study of memes reveals important tensions within digital culture, including issues of power, representation, and ethics. And understanding these dynamics is very much essential for critically engaging with the media environments of the present and future. So, my dear learners, as you come to the end of this unit, it's important to reflect on how your understanding of memes may have evolved. What once appeared as simple, humorous content can now be seen as a significant form of cultural expression and communication. You have explored how memes operate as cultural texts, how they function as digital folklore, and how they enable widespread participation in shaping public discourse. And one of the key takeaways from this unit is a realization that culture is no longer produced only by institutions or experts. Instead, it is actively created and circulated by individuals like you. Memes can actually demonstrate how everyday users can engage with social, political, and cultural issues in creative and accessible ways. They show that communication in the digital age is not just about consuming information, but also about contributing to it. At the same time, you have also seen that this participatory power comes with certain challenges. Memes can simplify complex issues, spread misinformation, or unintentionally reinforce harmful stereotypes. And this makes it essential for you as informed learners to approach meme culture critically and responsibly. So, as you move forward, consider how you engage with digital content in your daily life. Ask yourself, what message does a meme convey? Whose perspective does it represent? What impact might it have on others? And by asking these questions, you can become a more thoughtful participant in digital culture. Ultimately, this particular unit encourages you to see memes not just as fleeting trends, but as meaningful cultural practices that shape how we understand the world. And by developing a critical awareness of these practices, you are better equipped to navigate and contribute to the evolving landscape of digital communication. So, with this, we have come to the end of this unit. Thank you.